All right, so I've got the sorting records.xls_m document open. Now remember, this document already contains some VBA code. So you are going to get a prompt at the top of your screen. It says security warning, macros have been disabled, unless you've got a setting on your Excel, your copy of Excel, that lets any macro run, but it's probably marked as prompting you to enable them. So if you get this prompt, security warning, make sure you enable the content. If you don't enable it, if you just ignore it or if you close it out, your macros aren't going to work. They're trying to protect you. You download some document from the internet or whatever. You don't just want macros running without knowing what they're all about. So we got those 3 macros in there, the sorting macros. They don't do anything yet, so no need for concern or alarm there. Go ahead and enable it. This will allow the macros to eventually work once you create your own. So I'm going to hit enable content. All right. Do I want to make it a trusted source? If you get this window, you can go ahead and say no. We don't have to worry about that right now. If you were in a corporate environment and you had documents up on a network drive or even locally on your system and you kept getting that prompt about enabling it, you can say, well, you know what? I trust this. I trust the location. I trust the source. Mark it as a trusted source and you'll never be prompted for that again. But for now, I'll just say no. All right. So I need to create the first procedure here that's going to give the user a prompt. Ask them for how they want to sort this list right here. So I'm going to open up my VBA window, go back to my Developer tab, go to Visual Basic. All right, there's the 3 sort macros or procedures that we talked about earlier. I'm going to go up above that, to my Enter key here a couple times. And I'm going to create my new procedure. We're going to start kind of bite size, and we're going to create the prompt, the little input box to ask the user how they would like to sort their list. Would they like to do it by division, category, or by the total? So you could use the insert procedure command like we used earlier, or I'm just going to type this in myself. It's going to be public, it's going to be a sub procedure, and I'm going to call it user sort input. And you'll notice as soon as I hit my Enter key there, they automatically put it in an in sub line for me. So I've got the beginnings of my procedure. Now I got to start writing the code. All right, let's think about this for a moment. So a user comes into our document. We want to present them with an input box, asking them how they would like to sort that list by division, category, or total. Well, I need to present them with a box so they can type in sort it by this or sort it by that. Then I need to take that value, check to see what they input, and then perform the appropriate sort based on their input. Okay? So, in order for me to get the value and then use it later, I'm going to store it in a variable. So I'm going to bring in those 3 parts to declaring a variable. I'll say dim. I'm just going to call it user input as string. We're going to store a string value inside of this variable. Now I got my variable created. Excel now knows, oh, you created some storage location. You're going to eventually put something in there. Well, now I'm going to tell it what user input is going to be equal to. User input is going to be equal to an input box. Now, input box, it's a built-in function inside of Microsoft Excel VBA. With very little input on our part, we can create a prompt, a little window that pops up and asks the user for some information. So I'll say something like, what is your favorite color? I just want to show you what this looks like, and then we'll expand on this and bring it back to our sorts. So there's my user input variable called input box, or equal to the results of an input box. So I'm just going to go ahead and run this. Click my cursor in there. I hit the play button. And here's my prompt. This is the input box. What is your favorite color? So users can now interact with this. They can hit the cancel button. They can close it out. They can type something in. My favorite color is blue. If I hit OK, that value right there, blue, I hit OK, is now being stored inside of this variable called user input. So it's stored there, and then I can use that. Now let's bring this back to sorting. I want to say something like, how would you like to sort the list? Now if I come back out here and I hit play again or run, once again I get the prompt, how would you like to sort the list? And I'm expecting them to type something in here. How would you like to sort it? Well, do you want to sort it by division, category, or total? Well, you know what? This question that I put into the input box, it's kind of open-ended. There's not really a lot of definition to it. I'm not giving the user choices. You know, what am I expecting them to type into that box right there? Well, we need to clarify that. Any way that you can be more descriptive, more direct, the better off you're going to be, and the happier your users are going to be, because they'll know exactly what to do, and in turn, we can really control it through our code. Okay? So, but first, before we start getting more descriptive with this, I want you to create a new procedure just inside of the _sorting_records.xlsm document, and create your variable, and bring in a user input. You can ask whatever you want. It's not really going to do a whole lot yet, but ask whatever you like. Test it out. Hit the play button. Make sure you're getting your prompt. Okay? Then jump into the next video, and we're going to get more descriptive with it and give the user some choices for inputting and deciding how to sort the list.